So welcome back. This is the Glacier Peak High School team briefing, and we apologize for everybody. The previous recorded subject got lost, but we're going to go a little faster this time. It'll be fun and exciting for everybody. Oh, I should probably show my screen. That would be lovely. I'm officially unclear as to what my screen's showing, but that's okay. Can you see?
I'm not logged in.
You're not logged in? Okay.
No.
The great deal of fun of this is, I swear, we do these meetings like 10 times a week. This is the first one we've managed to mess up this badly. So that's okay. Here we go. So we're going to scroll forward again. Overview of the event. Oh, okay, so because I'm recording this for others, I'm going to have to repeat a few things. So the overview of tonight is we're going to talk about event-specific information, logistics of parking, those sorts of things. We're also going to talk about the load-in and load-out plan. And then we're going to have a quick talk about the schedule and about the things that you can expect from this particular event. So there's the overview. Before you arrive, it's really important that the main contact for your team or main mentor that's going to be on site with your team checks in with us on our website. And we need you to do this by Wednesday, 2/26/14. We'd really very much appreciate you doing that. You are going to tell us whether you want a pit table. If you don't tell us anything, you don't get one. So it's on you to do that. Kev's back on. By default, you will not get a pit table. Acknowledge to us that you know about the 3-inch wheel rule. This is really important to us this year, and we'll talk about that at great length. Tell us your student count, your mentor count. We're trying to figure out how many people are actually coming to these events, and your mobile phone number. There is the link. You can find it. If you can't copy the link, just go to our website, firstwa.org. Look under the FRC menu, under the district model menu, and then you'll find a little tab for check-in. Feel free to do that right now. We need you to do that at least once. Well, actually, we need to do that once for every event that you're attending, so everybody should plan on filling this form in at least twice, if not 3 times. Okay. That was pretty straightforward. Glacier Peak High School, that is where this district event is going to be held. Glacier Peak is south of Snohomish, sort of up in the Mill Creek, Snohomish County area. It's a beautiful campus up there. I think you're really going to like it. Looking at it from the air, it is a really big, beautiful school. There's it's actually a pretty new school, so I think you're in for a real treat. Honestly, it has the nicest view of any school I've ever been to in Western Washington. You're really going to enjoy it. And it turns out that the pits are going to be able to enjoy that view. So it's really a cool facility. The logistics of arriving, you can see that if you come off Cathcart Way, there are actually sort of two roads in. You can take a right on 144th. If you take the first left, you will end up in the upper parking area. We'd suggest you use that. The second left will actually just get you into this little administrative turnaround. There may be some parking in there if you need to use it, but otherwise you won't get very close to the gym at all that way. The third left down there, it will put you behind the building, and we'll talk about this in great length later, but that's kind of where you're going to head if you've got a trailer or a big load, and we'll talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. So Kevin Reed, Kev, are you back?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Well, that works out a lot better. I promise nobody will end the meeting on us this time. So for those of you who don't know Kevin Reed, he is one of the original founders of Washington First Robotics, and has been doing FIRST with us for like 12 years. And so he is in charge of this particular event. I will actually be at an event in Oregon this week. But you are in outstanding and very capable hands with Kevin. And he will be chiming in here as I manage to screw up some of the details as we go through this. So the directions for loading in, there are what we're asking you to do is if you've got small stuff that you can carry out of the car or out of the back of your van or such, you should plan on using the parking lots up there. We'd really appreciate it if you would do that. The place marked big loads, we're kind of trying to reserve that for people who have carts, large, well, that's where your robot should go, or your tool chests, or those sorts of things. When you go in there, it's a little more set up for handling large stuff. Parking is, yeah, go ahead, Kev.
Can I just jump in real quick and explain that a little bit more? Would that be okay?
Go for it.
So if on what in this photograph is the top of the school where it says small loads, it's all stairs, and there's a couple of large staircases that lead into the pit area from the front of the school. And there's only a small handicap accessible ramp that leads from the front down into the pit area. The pit area is sunk down in the floor. And so anything that can be safely carried downstairs is through the front door. The ramp is too small to get more than one or two people abreast walking down, so there'll be too much traffic during load-in. So from the back in the big loads area, it's a downhill slope to the area right at the tip of the arrow there, and it's a wide open concrete area where the trash compactors are, but there's also a door that leads to a very wide ramp that goes right up into the pits. We don't want it to get congested, and we'll have someone managing traffic at 144th Place up there on that main road that at the other end of the arrow there. And so we'll probably let 2 or 3 vehicles down there. No problem for vans, and there should be plenty of room even for a vehicle pulling a trailer to turn around if you have to. Anyone who's got maybe 12 or 12 feet or more may have a little trouble turning around, but anyway, we can get you in there, and that's where anything that has to roll that's really heavy should go. But please don't just go down there and unload all your bins and everything. Anything you can safely carry in by hand should be unloaded at the small load area. Does that sort of answer questions about that? Does anybody have any question at this point?
If you've got a question, the best thing to do is type it in the chat window. We'd appreciate hearing from you if you have anything.
And Kev, there's a note in the chat window from Jin about making a left at that first place there. He says it's illegal to take the first left.
So Jin is pointing out. Jin Hayashi, by the way, is our site host. He's a teacher up there. So Jin is telling us. In fact, I'm going to unmute Jin.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Kev, unmute Jin, can you? And I will draw up here. Jin is trying to tell us that this is an illegal left turn. I did not know that, actually.
Hello. Yes, you can only take a right-hand turn on that first upper parking lot. So yeah, you have to go on the 144th Place Southeast, which has the stoplights.
Yeah.
If you want to make a left-hand turn.
Yeah.
And so that's the only place you can make the left.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're saying that you have to come in here. Yeah. Small loads should take the first left. I apologize. The streets are improperly shifted.
I see you were showing that. Okay, I was thinking the other entrance on Catholic way around the back way.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. If you turn on the stoplight, yeah, you can take the first. Yeah, it's the first left on the upper where the small loads is.
And this is an exit only.
Pretty much, you can take a right-hand turn onto that, but you can't turn on left on 128th.
Okay.
You just can't turn left across traffic there, Kev. You can take a right off a Cathcart into there, but not make a left across traffic.
Outstanding. So I guess the bottom line, folks, is that if you're coming in and if you're dropping off people and small materials, take the first left when you come in and go find a nice place to park. And it'd be awesome if you could unload in a parking lot, in a parking zone, or a parking spot rather than in the bus lane. That would be really preferable for everybody. If you've got a big load that is going to need to enter, like you brought your big toolbox or whatever, you can come down and take a left. Sorry, I had to turn myself upside down. You'll take a left and come down here. We will have some folks controlling traffic out here on 144th Place. So please follow directions with them. They'll probably be wearing nice bright orange vests and might have very efficient garb on.
And also, we'll be staging long vehicles across the street there, right where you drew the red circle. Yeah, over there where those cars are parked, we'll stage the long vehicles there. So we'll just create a line there, and then as you line up, we'll let you in, and then they'll come back out and park out in front of the school when they're finished.
Yeah. We would appreciate your expedience in being able to unload quickly, so please staff your car appropriately. We do not want the driver of your car going anywhere. So the driver needs to stay with the car. We want you to drop your stuff, have enough students or mentors that are needed to take that load inside while the driver safely turns around and exits the area so we can bring in the next car. This event has 32 teams, 32 or so teams. So it's about half the size of one of our normal big events. So we expect this to load into actually go pretty quickly, so your patience is appreciated and will be well rewarded. Please the pits are not going to open until 5. We are setting up inside. We are not ready for you before 5, so we won't let you in before 5. Let me reiterate that 5 o'clock is the perfect time to arrive. If you can come a little early if you want to get in a queue line, but please don't try and find your own way into the building even though a door is unlocked. We will politely ask you to head back outside. Okay? Dead horse, beat to death, I think. Anything else, Kev, on this?
I think that's got it for now.
All right. So the logistics for parking, there's a pretty ample amount of parking. Again, there's no school that day, so you won't be competing with the school's population. There really aren't any great places to park buses for you. So your bus driver is used to this sort of thing. They'll just have to go find a Safeway parking lot somewhere. Bus drivers are good at that. So, but don't plan on parking on site. If you are bringing a trailer with you, we'd appreciate it if you didn't bring your trailer on Friday. You don't really need to. And if you're if you are bringing a trailer to park, probably over here as far away from the doors as you can is good. You're likely, you can see there's some double long spots. Now my mouse won't draw. There's some double long spots down here that you'd be able to use. On Friday, Jen, you can correct me if I'm wrong. On Friday, the school next door is open. It's an elementary school, and so please don't come and park in this lot over here. That's allocated to the elementary school. Did I get that right, Jen?
Yes, that's correct. They do have school on Friday.
Yeah. So please don't park in the elementary school. Saturday, if the other lots are full, you're welcome to use that lot over there, but not on Friday. Okay. Easy enough. Anything else about parking that I forgot, Jen?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay, good. We prefer, and again, we prefer that you didn't park your trailer on Friday. If you're going to bring a trailer, Saturday would be okay. All right. You can park your trailer, obviously, on Thursday night for load-in. All right. Bus transportation, again, not a great place to park a bus, and your driver will have to make some alternate arrangements. Let's talk about food. There's going to be concessions on site on Friday and Saturday. Hey, Jen, are the concessions open at all on Thursday? I forgot to ask.
No, I don't know if we don't have plans for Thursday, just Friday and Saturday.
Perfect.
I could say that they're going to have pizzas going to be available, so they could teams can pre-order pizzas if they want for $15. They have pepperoni, cheese, or Hawaiian are the options. We'll get something out to something more official if you want that.
Yeah, and if anybody's looking for, we do have a website in case you haven't seen it yet, and for some reason I can't find my mouse again. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, it's up there. Oh.
You have it set up as a small red pen. I think it's hard to see.
Yes, I just found it. Awesome. So if you look on our website, this is our lovely Washington First Robotics website. FRC district model, if you look at Glacier Peak District Event 2, Week 2, I was busy today, I promise. We've been, you should see our warehouse. It is full of first stuff. We've got, well, we'll call it crap everywhere. And so as soon as I get the crap put away for tonight, we will get this updated. But if you go to our website, FirstWA.org, look under District Model, look under Glacier Peak Week 2, you'll find the public calendar. And right down here at the bottom, you're going to find a copy of these slides, the menu, and the other stuff. I promise to get to that by tomorrow morning. So that is where you, this is the page where you can find out the public information. So I apologize for not getting that done in time. All right.
And we will have box lunches available. So
yes.
There will be a box lunch menu.
So there will be there'll be both concessions and box lunches available. We've just gotten all of that information this afternoon. Didn't get it up yet. We would like it that they would prefer that you order by March 3rd. But yeah, if you could figure out what you need to do by March 3rd and place orders for that, that'd be great. We really need your help cleaning up after yourself. There are garbage cans, and please make good use of them. We'd appreciate that. We don't have a large janitorial staff. It'll end up being up to you guys to keep yourselves nice and clean and tidy. All right. Oh, this is always the favorite topic, and I'm ready to defend against questions. So, pit power. We are running all of the pit power off of a generator this year. This is much different than what you're used to at first events, and so there are some things you need to take into consideration. We're going to put up to 6 teams on a 20 amp circuit. Actually, for this event, it will probably be about 5 teams on a 20 amp circuit. And the reality is it's really going to be probably closer to a 15 amp circuit because I just looked at our power strip equipment and it's all 15 amps. So there are circuit breakers involved. You are welcome to use all 15 amps between 5 teams. So you should really plan on about 400 watts total. That means if you've got a pit display that has a whole bunch of incandescent lighting or a whole bunch of lighting and a bunch of flat panel displays, you may end up being the power hog. So plan on about 400 watts maximum. And so that'll be a great engineering project for your students. Figure out how much power you can actually save by switching to LED lighting or no lighting at all. It is a beautiful facility. You probably shouldn't need a whole lot of light. You definitely are not bringing air compressors or multi-horsepower drill motors and that sort of thing. This is much different than we've done in the past at first. We can't afford to bring in much more power than what we're doing. You'd be amazed. The Seattle event 2 years ago, for the 100 teams cost us $22,300 for the power for 3 days. If by the time you rented all the cabling and the rest of that stuff, we're trying not to do that to you guys anymore. So, having said that, you know, a battery charger takes about 85, 90 watts when it's on full charge. So you'll be able to charge 2 or 3 batteries at a time. You'll want to think about taking the batteries home for charging, especially since generator is going to be off. And so I think it's really important is to figure out what it is that you're going to do with your batteries. Bring them fully charged with you is my strong suggestion. In the gym, and we're going to be really, really tight about this, and we will not be very forgiving at all. You may not use any power outlets in the gym, period. We're using the 2 circuits that are in there for the game and for the AV equipment. If you've plugged something into the wall, we're likely to come take it from you, and we'll give it back to you Saturday night. So you've been forewarned. The combination of the field and the AV equipment are going to use most of those 2 20 amp circuits. So we're not willing to risk shutting down the game so that you can charge your battery or your iPhone or whatever. We'll be putting up signs about this, but you've been warned. So thank you for your gracious cooperation. Belabored to death. I am missing a slide about. Hang on a sec. I missed the, okay, no, it's coming up. Never mind. Going back. All right, so let's talk about that. So those are the specifics for this particular event. The rest of the slides are a little bit more generic, but if you haven't seen these at least once, please tune in. Oh, and I've also been told to remind everybody that we need to save your driver buttons. We'll be making that announcement as well, but you need to make sure that your driver buttons, when you're done with this event, you save them for not only your next district event, but also for the event in Portland, if the championships, because we only have one set for you. Dave is asking, is there a room where a team can solder? Some take 1,200 watts and more. Dave, I have no clue what you're soldering with a 1,200 watt iron.
The answer is yes.
Is there? The shop?
We're going to use Wes's auto shop for the machine shop and access to power tools and rework and all that, and it's a short walk from the gym.
And this is Glacier Peak, but yes.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I'm thinking of Shorewood.
I do it all the time, no sweat.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I'm thinking of the wrong event. My mistake. I have to
But
look
the
into
answer is
that.
still yes, because we'll have the machine shop. Correct, Kevin?
We will have a machine shop available for you if you need to do something that consumes a great deal of power.
Yes, but I'm not quite as sure about the power now. Now that we say that, yeah, I'll have to check that.
Absolutely.
Jen's got the machine shop, and we're not sure if we can get access to it yet. That's the one that's got the waiver issue. Okay.
Yep. Jim, we're going to hit the 6-hour robot access period very heavily here in just a couple of minutes. Okay. The key thing to remember, those of us who have done FIRST in the past, we always treated Thursday as final build day. That is not the case. Thursday, you arrive, you set up your pits, you pass inspection. Nothing in there did I say, come put on your 45 pounds of withholded stuff and make those final modifications. That is not how this event runs. If you're planning on doing that, you've made an enormous mistake. Okay, and I'm gonna belabor this many times, so I'll save it for the next belaboring. Friday we're going to run qualification matches. Your team is going to run 12 times between Friday and Saturday. There are only 32 teams at this event. The things are going to happen fairly quickly. In general, you are going to be running on average every 4 matches, every 4 to 5 matches. Sometimes you will run you may only have 2 matches in between, or I think 3 actually. You may end up with 3 in between. So this is going to be a very fast-moving game, much faster than what you're used to. So please keep that in mind. We thought of you. We love you. We know how this goes. We have scheduled 2 1.5-hour breaks during the day on Friday so that you can have a little bit more time to do some bit more major repairs. So we get it. We're all people who have done this before. There are never consecutive matches for teams. The projected cycle time for these matches is about 6 minutes. You should plan accordingly. It is going to be a pretty fast-moving game. All right. Qualification matches all day Friday. Qualification matches on Saturday morning. Saturday looks just like the good old regionals you're used to. We're going to run a couple of 2 or 3 rounds on Saturday morning and then do the whole elimination and final rounds thing. Okay. Somebody else had asked the question. Elon has asked, is there ever a time that teams run back-to-back? The scheduling software does not usually allow that. So no, you should not be back-to-back. Okay? All right. Thursday is load-in and inspection. Okay? You are showing up at 5 p.m. Thursday. You are going to come with safety glasses. They are mandatory, and you won't be allowed into the pits without them. So you need to provide your own. We appreciate your doing that. Please be sure to follow all instructions from our people with volunteer badges. Even though some of them seem like you have a better method for doing it, we'd appreciate it if you'd follow their instructions because that's just how we roll. It just makes life easier when we know what's going to happen. Do not park in the loading area as you're offloading. It's really important that you don't do that because you're just going to clog up the works. You should bring a cart for your materials. You'll need a cart with at least 3-inch diameter wheels. We have yellow jackets. They're cable protection bumps. They are 2 inches tall. If you come with shorter wheels than that, you're going to get high-centered and dump your load. We've seen it many, many, many times. This event, in fact, all of our district events will be using our cable humps, so 3 inches minimum diameter. We are going to be very sticky about this, so please, please, please adhere to that rule, okay? Your only and first and only goal on Thursday is to pass inspection. You have 5 hours to pass inspection. So it's really important that you make good use of your robot access period. The rest of what would have been Thursday, that time has been allocated to your 6 hours of robot access period. You are allowed a week before, starting a week before your event, to take your robot out of its bag 3 times. You may take it out once for 30 minutes, and you may take it out 2 more times after that for a total of no more than 6 hours combined between those 3 accesses. That is when you are putting on those 45 pounds of withholding. That is when you are putting on and fixing things that you know need to get fixed. Do not plan on showing up and fixing your robot on Thursday. If you're doing that, you're making a huge mistake. There is not time for you to do that. You need to pass inspection. Belaboring number 2, but I'm going to belabor it one more time, I bet. Any questions about that? Check the rules and read the rules for yourself. Don't rely on what I'm telling you. Be sure you understand you are going to a 2-day event. It's called a district event or a 2-day event. That is what you're going to, and you get to access your robot for 6 hours total. But the nice thing is, by the way, think about this. You're at your own shop. You got your own tools. You got your own setup. You can you should be way more productive there than you would be at ours. Okay. Saturday loadout is basically the inverse of load in. Again, no parking in the loadout area. We really appreciate that. You're welcome to load out during the elimination rounds on Saturday. There are 32 teams at this event. 24 of them will be in the elimination rounds. If you're one of the other 8 teams, you're welcome to go ahead and load out during that afternoon period. Okay. Wheel requirements. This is really, really important to us this year, and we're going to be very, very sticky about it. Okay. Our venues, again, I told you about the yellow jackets. All of the venues, all of them are going to be using them. They're all 2 inches tall. 3-inch minimum diameter wheels on everything. Robot cart, toolboxes, anything that rolls. Okay. We are not going to allow you to use anything less than a 3-inch wheel. If we do see something less than a 3-inch wheel, we're going to ask you to take it back to your car. We are going to be on people's basketball courts. These are high school basketball courts, and we're in people's schools here. So we're not on old dirty concrete floors anymore. These are all finished surfaces. So a basketball court costs about $22,000, $22,000 to $25,000 to refinish. We will hand you the bill for it if you are the one that didn't follow our rules and managed to scrape the floor. It will be uncomfortable. Please don't. There is a maximum weight for your carts, 50 pounds per inch of wheel size. So if you have one cart and you have 4 3-inch wheels, your cart may weigh no more than about 600 pounds. Okay? Please, please, please pay attention to this. We are trying really hard not to damage any floors. Okay. And then rubber wheels or plastic wheels rubber wheels or softer, like treaded wheels are fine. Please don't bring steel wheels or there are certain kinds of caster wheels that are just flat out steel treads. Please don't use those. We won't allow them. Nothing sharp. Some rolling dollies use a very sharp wheel. We won't allow those. Also, if you have those really cheap Husky toolboxes, even though it's got a 3-inch wheel, it's got that 3-inch wide, really ugly plastic, ABS plastic wheel. Those typically what happens is if you pick up anything from a rock to a nut to a bolt or just some little bits of gravel, those wheels stop and they don't turn and they just scrape. That's bad. So not allowing those. Hopefully that made sense. Any questions about wheels? Okay. Thursday, inspection day. Again, belabored for the last time. This is short, intense. Please pass inspection. You should have gotten an email. All of your lead mentors got an email with the inspection checklist. Check with your lead mentor or whoever's signed up in TIMS. They got an email from me a couple of days ago with a link to the inspection sheet. You should go through that at home. Okay. If you arrive on site and you need help, for God's sakes, ask for it. Don't be bashful about it. There are some of our most experienced teams put their robots in the bags non-functioning this time. So be sure that if you need help, ask for it early. Our goal is to get you inspected by 10 o'clock on Friday night. You do have a little bit of time to play on the practice rounds on Friday morning. Matches start at 11, and we are going to be running a very quick schedule. So please, please, please be sure that you realize that Thursday is inspections only. Again, not opening the pits till 5. Wait for clearance, and you do need to have safety glasses. We don't have enough to loan out to you. In general, here's the thing behind all these district events. Do less better. We want you to do a little bit less. Okay, these are smaller events. You're, that we're kind of cramming ourselves into some pretty tight spaces. Glacier Peak isn't too bad. Some of the other schools are much worse. We don't have an enormous amount of room. So, bringing less stuff, given the fact that you're going to be there for less time, I encourage that. I think that's a good thing. We want you to do your pit displays. We want you to do all that stuff, but keep in mind you're there only for about 2 days instead of the 3 days before. So if you wanted to make your pits a little smaller, that's probably a good idea. Save the really big show for the district championships in Portland. That's where we have more time, more space, that sort of thing. The other thing to realize is that Thursday night is inspection only. There's nothing at all for spectators to do. There's nothing really for auxiliary team members to do on Thursday night. So if you wanted to, I think Smart Money would probably bring a minimalist crew. I would bring your drivers. I'd bring your robot builders and your main mentors on Thursday. You don't need to bring your media people or students who would otherwise just have to get bored. There's absolutely nothing happening in the gym. We're setting up the field. There's just not a whole lot happening on Thursday other than robot inspection. Bring everybody on Friday. Bring everybody on Saturday. Those are the fun days, okay? So if you can swing it, bringing fewer people on Thursday will just make everybody's life a little bit better. If you have to bring, if you're traveling and you're going to bring everybody, they are 100% welcome. So I'm not trying to tell you that we're not going to turn you away or anything. But on the other hand, we're also not going to have a whole lot for your students to be doing. How am I doing? Any questions on that? Okay, Thursday about 5 o'clock, we'd like your team to come register with us. Visit the pit admin desk. Just check in. You need to bring your TIMS form with any handwritten additions as needed, and consent forms for anybody who didn't manage to get into TIMS or STIMS. Mentors, those sorts of things. I appreciate your helping us out with that. In exchange, we will give you your driver buttons and a packet of information. Appreciate your helping us out by getting registration done as soon as you can on Thursday. All right. Oh, I guess I already went through this. See, I'm rushing because we have another one coming up here in a few minutes.
You might log us off again.
Yeah, or somebody might log us off again. All right, veteran teams. We do these are district model events. We have we've got a semi-load of materials coming in. We do have limited spare parts, so if you wanted to stash some stuff in the car just in case, we'd appreciate it. If you've got unused sensors, motor controls, especially talons and spikes, talon spikes and Victors and that sort of stuff that you would be willing to loan folks, you could bring that with you. A little stash of those is always appreciated. We usually run out of those supplies pretty early. A lot of teams are going to need help with programming. It's a perennial issue, so if you are done with your inspections and would like to help out, we'd really appreciate it. Okay. I'd also like to point out, before I get to the machine shop, I'd also like to point out that we're looking for volunteers to help us run this event. So if you have a large team and you've got a bunch of students who are otherwise not doing anything, we'd love to entertain them doing safety glasses. We probably need some help with the video taping. We're going to stream these things live on the web. If you've got students that you would like to give them a project for the day, we'd love to hear about that. They can sign up at volunteer.firstwa.org, and we're happy to accommodate any additional volunteers. We're also interested in finding some more judges, I think.
I think we are.
Yeah.
That's the Oregon event, so I'm pulling up Glacier.
Hang on a sec. We're bringing up the volunteer list to make sure I'm not going to fib to you. We're looking for...
We're still 5 short. Recently.
5 short?
Yeah. Yep.
We'd love to have a few extra judges. If you've got your school administrators or some of your sponsors would like to come and help out, we'd really appreciate that. Yeah, it looks like we're looking for 5 judges. And also mentors. We're relying on our existing mentor pool to help us out with robot inspections at most of our other events. This one's actually covered pretty well, this particular event. But if you are interested in helping out at any of our other events, we'd love to have you come and help us out on Thursday evening as a robot inspector.
Quite a few field reset. That's a good student job.
We have openings for field reset, which is a great job for your students. We've got openings in team queuing, and it looks like we also had openings down here in field disassembly. Oh, there it is. Event setup, tear down. Actually, we're looking, no, field assembly.
Yeah, and disassembly.
Yeah, if you've got some students who would like to come at 3 o'clock on Thursday, if you've got a group of kids that would like to come early, we are looking for help with field assembly and setup on Thursday at 3. Looks awesome on your Chairman's Award submission, I will just say, just FYI. All right, there's my spiel. Where do you send people who would like to be a judge? The link is volunteer.firstwa.org, and I just put it into the chat box. You're welcome to use that. Love to have them. And if they're not available, we're also looking for help in Mount Vernon and actually several of our other events. Mount Vernon, we could actually use some judges on week 4. That'd be awesome.
And we can. They get trained and fed and everything, so we take good care of the judges. They don't have to know anything ahead of time.
Yep, no experience necessary, as we say in the biz. All right. It's a coveted position, by the way. Very, very good.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Machine shop. We will have a machine shop available. It is a there'll be some basic tools. We can't do anything terribly sophisticated for you, so don't show up and expect us to make you an automatic transmission. But we will be able to help with the basic repairs and if you need some precision holes drilled and those sorts of things. Only authorized machine shop volunteers can use these tools. You can't just jump in and use the tools. There are a form to fill out. You can talk to our outstanding machinists and they'll be able to help you out. If you're available, or if one of your mentors is available, we are actually looking for a couple of people to help us out in our machine shop at this event. It's a lot of fun. You just kind of you stand there and be gracious and professional and do your best to help out teams that are in trouble. We need people who know how to TIG weld and do basic things like, drill accurate hole patterns and come up with creative solutions to some of the problems that the teams are going to pop up with. So if that, again, volunteer.firstwa.org, we'd love to have you. But just a reminder, the machine shop is not going to loan tools to you, so don't bother asking. They will be very polite and tell you that another team may have the tool that you're looking for. Okay, the inspection process, just to go over it so everybody's clear on it, we're going to do a size and weigh in the inspection area. The sizing is we're just going to measure the circumference of your robot appropriately, and we have brand spanking new inspection scales. You'll enjoy that. There'll be a brief control system inspection at the CSA station, and then starting at 5 o'clock, as soon as you walk in the door, you can sign up for your physical robot inspection and get on the list. We encourage you to do that almost immediately. Just go get yourself on the inspection list, and we would love to get started right away. You will need to connect to the field controller at least once by Friday morning. Hopefully we'll get our field set up and we'll start accepting some folks out on the field on Thursday night. Otherwise, Friday morning we need you to be ready to bring your robot out in whatever condition it is, and we need to see if we can get you to connect to the field. That is the one thing that everybody that a lot of teams have a little bit of issues with. We can almost always fix it if we know ahead of time, but if you walk out and have not connected to the field, you're likely to be unhappy. Remember, inspectors are your friend. They are there to help you get out on the field and play safely and fairly. They will do whatever they can to help you pass inspection if you'll let them, so please be sure to let them. Okay. A redundant slide, so there we go. We'll just skip that guy. Remember, it is really rare for a robot to pass inspection the first attempt. You'll probably need to iterate at least once, so get it started early and get it done on Thursday. Okay, the key assignment, I believe it's the same as usual. I'm going to actually, Alex, tell me yes if it's the same as usual. Alex Harride, one of our FTAs, is actually on the call tonight. I'm pretty sure it is. You do need to set your WPA key in order to be able to talk to the field. There's a kiosk for doing that. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Should work great. All right. Boy, I got a lot of extra slides in this deck. Sorry about that. The connecting to the field is really important because we can fix it. Sometimes we need to reflash your robot or update the firmware or do those sorts of things, and it can take like a half hour. It's nothing complicated. It just takes time to do that. So you really don't want to be doing that on your first trip out to the field. You'll just won't be able to run. So let us help you do that, and we really want you to get connected to the field by 10 a.m. on Friday. That is your goal. Okay, it's sort of a required goal. All right. Practice rounds will be on Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. You need to pass inspection. This is different. Heads up. You have to pass inspection to run your practice match. So please do so. It's usually, we're still waffling on whether we're actually going to try and schedule the practice matches on Friday morning. We probably will. It's really common for teams to miss their schedule, so if you want to go out and practice, just go get in line. There will be 2 lines out there. One of them will be the waiting to go line, and the other is I haven't been on the field yet line. So go check in. If you will be allowed on the field first come, first served, unless it's your practice time, but we will give preference to the teams who haven't been on the field at least once and connected to the field. Thank you for your gracious professionalism on that. Appreciate it. All right. Belabored one more time. This is the last belaboring, I promise. Be sure to fix your robot at home. That is what those 6 hours are for. That is your final build day, is your 6 hours in your shop, in the comfort of your own shop, with the comfort of your own tools. Use that time very wisely. We don't want you to show up thinking that you're going to be able to do a whole lot. That is not how these events are going to operate. Okay? All right. End of Thursday. Pits close at 10 p.m. We are going to push you out of the building at 10. Just like usual, somebody is going to start pestering you about 9:45. At 9:55, we will come and hold your hand and walk you right out the door. So don't be surprised. 10 o'clock there are no exceptions to that. The volunteers have been there all day. It's time for them to go home. Everybody needs to get home and get to sleep. All right? Yay! Wow, that was record time for one of these presentations.
Yeah, just a couple minutes for questions.
All right. So if you have any other questions, you can get a hold of me, Kevin R.O. at firstwa.org. These slides are going to be up on our website. Actually, I'm going to put them in FRC. I'm going to put them on
The Glacier Peak.
On the Glacier Peak page that I showed you earlier. Here it is. It'll be on this page, at the bottom of this page, and you'll be able to see those. You also we'll also put this recording up there. All right. With that, I think that's all I had to say. Kev, is there anything I forgot to mention?
No, not so far. Everything was good up to as much as we know up to this point.
Absolutely. And we thank everybody for their gracious professionalism as this will be week number 2, and we are still figuring out exactly the formula to run all of this stuff. We expect it to run extraordinarily well because we have awesome volunteers and awesome teams. But if there are little snafus, please don't yell at the volunteers. Go find Kevin Reed. You can yell at him. And
yes, please.
Yes, please don't.
That's what I do all day, listen to people yell.
Yeah.
You want to remind everyone to send you all that information about the team tables and all that again?
Absolutely. Please be sure and visit the team check-in page. It's really easy. FRC, district model, check-in. And here it is. It's a very simple form to fill in. Just need your name and your email address and your phone number. You need to tell us what event you're coming to. You're going to the Glacier Peak High School event here. And you need to tell us whether you need a pit table or not. If you don't say so, we're not going to give you one.
And you need to do it by the 26th.
Do this by the 26th. All right, guys. There you go. Thank you to everybody for attending, and we appreciate your participation in FIRST.